Live streaming is on.
I see we have an excellent connection, but I have no video. Huh. Let's try this. There we go. All right, let's see if we got this in over here. Yeah, still got it. All right, I finally got it straightened out. Let's see if it comes back. There we go. All right, the link to the meeting is at the bench thread, and I'll stay on for half an hour if nobody comes in. I'll sign out, but I thought I would at least give you an update on Rusty. Rusty called me from the hospital, and I guess he has some type of an infection or something, and he'll be back Monday, hopefully. But tonight, you're stuck with me. All right, great, Bishop. Cool. All right, so if you want to come in and join me, it's at the bench thread. The name of the thread is just Hangout Friday. And we'll talk airplanes. Otherwise, it's going to be looking at me for the next half hour or whatever until I decide I've had enough. I need to work on my friend's airplane. I want to give this back to him Monday. I've got to get it sanded off, sanded down so I can paint it. He's used some type of nonsense paint on it, and it's just terrible. What I'm going to do here, this is where the arming plug goes, and if you look here, I made a flat raised area. But you can't get all the wires through the arming hole. So, Tom Creasy. Hey, Tom. You're watching on the phone. Larry Lindbergh. Yeah, go eat some rubber bands with him. He likes those. Anyway, I'm going to take and I'm going to cut that oval out of there so that all the wires can fish through there. I'm going to make a plate that will screw on with 4 screws in the corners for the arming switch and the arming plug. And I should have that done tomorrow. I'm going over my friend John's and tinker with airplanes. I'll do a little bit of work on the Tucker over there, the stuff that I can't do here. I have to hot wire the landing gear locations, and I'll cut some plywood ribs over there because he has all the tools. I don't have any tools here. He has the jigsaws and band saws and such. I don't think tomorrow is going to be a low humidity day, so it's going to be another day not getting my profile cleared. Let's take a look at the weather. The weather for tomorrow, this hurricane has really screwed things up. I needed about 30% humidity, but I don't think that's going to help. Yeah, it's 85% humidity. You can't paint clear dope at 85% humidity. What it does, let me explain what blushing is. Blushing is where the moisture is trapped under the skin. And what that does is the paint is drying on top, scabbing over, like a scab that you get on yourself after a cut, and sealing the moisture between the surface and the top scab of the clear. And that's why it blushes. It's showing you that moisture in there. So you can put retarder in it up to 10% for dope. And that slows down the scabbing over time to allow the moisture to evaporate. Anything more than 10%, the paint becomes so rubbery, it kind of never dries. So I do have some blushing on there, and the thing's going to be to shoot thinner, straight thinner over the whole airplane to loosen up that top scab and let out the water, let out the moisture. But you need a good, hot, dry day, no humidity. So it doesn't look like tomorrow will be that day. 10 viewers, nobody coming in. Let me give you the link. I'll just give it here on this. Copy. Look in the chat box. You want to join the stream live? Paste and go. I have pretty good control over the Jitsi, so if you're helmet head, you won't last long. Go ahead and click that link, have your camera and microphone enabled, and come in and talk to me. Otherwise, you can go to the At the Bench thread. With this software, we have the option of calling in on your phone, believe it or not. So if you don't have a camera or you're not able to, somehow have low bandwidth, can't stream in a video, you can watch it on here and call me on the phone, and it should show up in the Jitsi. So, as I stated earlier, Rusty's in the hospital. We wish him well. Hopefully he'll be out Monday. He can host the show because he's a whole lot better than I am. He's got a lot more wind than I do. I just, I'm a builder, so we're going to get anybody to come in and talk to me, at least type at me. I can see the chat. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share the videos. Help the channel grow. I noticed that we're growing at about 25 subscribers a month. That's pretty good. We're up to almost 2,100 subscribers. That's more than likely most of the 4,500 members I have on Stunt Hangar. And if you're one of them characters that's giving a thumbs down, you know where to stick that thumb. Never give up. To infinity and beyond. It helps my engagement, whether you like or dislike the thing. You guys are curmudgeon old men or whatever. And I know everybody who's watching this is 65. Ah, I see. No problem. Thank you, John. He says my videos are fantastic. Thank you. Yes, there is a replacement for the DC 540. I have it over John's. It's made by Crest. It's ridiculously expensive. It's $13 a can. It works rather well. It's the same stuff. It has all the good shit in it. Xylene and propane and toluene and all the stuff that can kill you, so it works good. It's the same exact ingredients as DC 540. However, the DC 540 was a little lighter. You can feel it in the can. There's less solids in the DC 540 than in this Crest primer, but it's actually very good stuff. And that was found by one of the members on here, and he gave me a can to try at the Nats, and I tried that, and I ordered a case, 150 bucks for 12 cans. So it's very, very pricey. They give you a break if you buy more than 6 cans, so I doubled the order. But $12.80 a can if you buy it by the case. But it works rather well. John's using it. I like it. I was rooting around in the shop where I work, and upstairs in the truck frame shop, the mechanic up there had 2 cans of DC 540 in his paint locker. I scabbed those out of the paint locker, and he said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm stealing this." And I went down and told the boss that I'm taking this home. And he looked. He's a flyer too. He owns the nose of this airplane here, and he understood right away why I'm taking it, because you damn sure don't need DC 540 on a piece of junk truck. So I got about a can and a half down in the car. I'll probably use it on this. So that's how things work in my world. Yeah, DC 540 on a truck. Throw that good shit on a truck. Yeah, junk truck. 11 watchers, if you can throw us a super chat, that helps out the channel and Rusty. I send him money all the time. Try to anyway. This running Stunt Hangar is a very costly proposition. More than you guys know. It's a failing business. How to become a millionaire in the hobby business. Start with 2 or maybe 3. I'm surprised John has kept his hobby shop going, except for he has other endeavors to offset the hobby business. He has all those grocery stores and liquor stores and video stores and distributing and all that, printing. So there we go. Got somebody coming in. Who we got here?
Steve.
Hey, Steve. What's up?
Not too much. What happened to Rusty?
Got some type of infection. He's in the hospital.
Holy shit. Yeah, I asked him about that the other night. He said he was feeling better. But
yeah, he called me and apologized he couldn't be on. Well, I knew that he was going to the hospital. He had wrote me Thursday. Let's see here. Messages. Yeah, let's see, Rusty. Okay, on Thursday, I'm going back to the hospital Thursday. I only know for sure it'll be more than a couple of days. I'll keep you posted. And I just wrote him, get well. And then tonight I wrote him, are you going to be on tonight? And he called me, and he didn't sound real good. He sounded like he was out of it.
wow. Yeah, I tell you what, that's just too bad. Yeah, I just got up, but we were gonna have a little get together there at the field tomorrow, but it's gonna be windy and foggy in the morning and all that kind of stuff. So I guess we're gonna try Sunday. You going to Cleveland contest?
Next weekend.
Yeah, you going to that?
Oh yeah. I'll fly profile if I can get my profile done, but it doesn't look like it.
Yeah, maybe. Just hell, don't paint it.
Yeah.
Get some clear on it and
Yeah, I got clear on it, 2 coats, but it's fogged over. I can't, it's all blushed. Hey, Doran.
Hey guys.
Impromptu meeting tonight.
Is Rusty okay?
I guess he's not dead. He called me.
Oh, okay. Well, it's like, in his situation at his age and stuff like that, you think the worst automatically. I don't know why, but
I knew he was going to the hospital for some type of infection on Thursday, and he said that he could not do the show or whatever. So I didn't know that I was going to host this or not, but I figured that, I want to keep you guys informed of what's going on. It's not going to hang on all night like you guys normally do. I can tell you that.
yeah.
Hey, I got a question for you on that Tucker special. When you do the buck, now does that wood that you're wrapping on the buck have to be perfect cut?
Yes.
Okay.
It comes off the buck, off the mold buck, and goes on to the sheeted buck on the other wing. So I got 2 leading edge sections.
Yeah. I'm doing that lost foam wing that I got, and I was looking at that buck last night, and I'm like, well, I guess you got to measure it and then get it cut perfect, because if you tried to wrap it, you couldn't have any overhang or it would crush it over the edge.
No, don't worry about that.
Steve, what you do, you just hold the mold vertical, right?
Yeah.
Put it on top of the table somewhere, right? You probably have a flat surface on it anyways, right?
I showed exactly how to measure it out, Doran.
Okay. You tell him then.
I showed him how to measure it with a woman's dressmaker's tape.
Yeah, I watched that last night.
Okay. The wood that I cut, this line right here is where the wood is supposed to stop, where my spar is in the other wing. I've left an inch. Now Hunt cuts them a little shorter than that, where he leaves a ½ inch. If it wraps over the top of this, don't worry about it. Just wrap it up tight, and then take a yardstick on there and then cut it off on the buck. But don't cut it off at the spar until you get it on the wing. And then put the how I find the spar is I stick a pin down on each end and then slide the ruler up to it and then make a straight cut right on the spar. That way it's perfect with the spar.
Oh,
Sparky, why do you want to have it exactly as a spar? If you cut it 1/8 of an inch longer, who cares if it overlaps a little bit? Because you put the cap strips over there, right?
No, because then the covering pulls it down. Pulls the sheeting down. It already pulls down some, but you don't want the sheeting to be pulled down past that. And not only that, you have a chance to break that by grabbing it. That little lip sticking out.
Okay, fine. Yeah, I see that. Yeah. When I was doing this kind of stuff before, I used to take the buck like you have, like Sparky has the buck over there, and I would just lift one end up off the table so that the beginning and the end are at the same level, right? And I take up an exact knife on a blade and just walk it around, so it cuts it symmetric on both sides, and done deal kind of thing. 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. A straight edge on that stuff with a with something that's nicely marked over there, it'll get the job done just fine.
Okay. Yeah, I've never done one before. And
You're trying to find out how big to make the sheet, right?
pardon me?
You're trying to find out how big to make the sheet.
Yes.
You get a dressmaker's tape, they're like $1.
Yeah,
And
I seen that last night, and I got all that, but I didn't realize. And I'll measure the ones that I got from Bob Hunt to make sure that there's like another line on it where to cut it to, because I'm like, God, I mean, you got to cut this thing perfect to get it to wrap. But yeah, it makes sense to leave it long and then trim it off once it's formed.
If it wraps over the top of this, don't worry about it. But how I get that measurement is just a dressmaker's tape where you measure around from one end to the other, one side to the other. And I know that Hunt leaves his
A half inch one?
yeah, half inch, and then just cut it after it's glued on the wing.
Okay.
But
Right.
it is very important on those lost foam wings. You don't have Bob Hunt's lost foam video?
I do, but I cannot find it. And I don't know if I loaned it to somebody or what, but I watched it one time before we did Samantha's airplane last year. But what it was is that her and Chris were doing the wing. I'd cut the ribs and we, glued all that on there. And then I was cutting part for the fuselage to get it ready. And hell, they glued the whole damn wing up in, I don't know,
Hour.
20 minutes. Yeah, I mean, had both of them all that shit done. And I'm like, wow. And I didn't get to see. I see that he uses a pipette, gets way up in there and, showed Samantha how to do that.
The most important thing for alignment in building a lost foam wing straight, and the wing tends to fly from that leading edge, is that leading edge. So when Hunt makes a mark, a center line mark, mark that with the pin on the sheeting on both ends, and then click your taco shell up, put a ruler in there, and go from mark to mark and make sure that ballpoint pen mark lines up perfectly on the center line of the rib when you put it together, and then weight it together. It's pretty strange in how to get it perfect, but you weight it down, weight it down, and then shoot the glue in there, and you take a Q-tip, put white glue on the top so you can move it, but make sure it's all straight and all those marks line up. That way it comes out perfect.
Yeah,
Try to find that video. Very boring video, but there's a lot of good information in it.
Yeah. Yeah, I watched the whole thing before we went there, and then
you forgot it all.
Well, I didn't do it. If after I would have watched it, I would have done it. It was stuck in my mind, but like he's saying, it's kind of boring. So
I guess you're gonna have to stick into your mind again.
Yeah, I'm just gonna have to do it. That's why I've been keeping up.
Even better. Watch the video as you do the wing and follow it step by step. Watch a little bit of it, follow the step, move to the next step, and so on and so forth.
That's what I was going to do, but I can't find the video.
Oh.
So, yeah, I got a whole set of his videos he had there at the Nats one year for cheap. And
You know how to stand the ribs, right?
Yep, I got all the ribs done. Got the center lines, pinned them to it, sanded the shape, marked up, like you said.
You pinned it to the mold, right?
Yep.
And then sanded on top of the mold so they're perfect.
Yep.
What a pain in the ass to make something like that.
It's
a nice wing.
It comes out so nice. Well, the one of Samantha's anyway. I mean, that thing was just straighter than straight, stiffer than hell. I mean, I think a lot of it is that when you sheet, you're holding down, but within that buck and some weighted and glue it, I mean, it really glues it hard or something.
Two things on that wing that make it super rigid that you don't want to forget, with three things, is the shear webbing at between the spar, the 3/16 square spars at the top and bottom, that the grain runs vertical, make sure it fits tight between the ribs. Then the next thing is all the sheeting behind on the trailing edge and the blocking. That makes that trailing edge really stiff, and the cap strips. Don't force the cap strip. You'll warp the wing.
Oh, okay.
You know, make sure they fit perfect without any pressure on them. And that wing will stay straight and be really stiff.
I was thinking about how to make a geodesic wing without using the foam at all. Just kind of eliminate it out of the equation.
You can do that. You're a good CAD guy. You could do that. I built one wing with a plotting system. You know what I'm talking about, where you measure out on a piece of paper and you plot the stations and then a French curve. But the foam is so easy, real simple.
Yeah, because when I was doing this, I was thinking about making a geodesic wing, an elliptical wing as well, not just only geodesic, elliptical. And the master plan was to have tabs on the ribs, on the bottom of the ribs, which will hold the rib at the proper height, right, center line, and maybe an inch or so off the table, of the top of the table. So the method to my madness would be to make the plan and make the stations on which the ribs are being placed. So you just glue them. You put the plan on the top of a flat piece of your flat table, and then you glue the ribs right on top of the plants, exactly in position. So they're gonna have already position and everything like that. And from that point on, I just put the bottom and top strip and put the lower sheeting, the top sheeting, trailing edge, stuff like that, hinges, everything. And when you take it off, it's straight and stuff like that. No foam, no sanding, none of that stuff. I maybe a little bit of sanding around the leading edge, but that's about it.
So the best rib layout, and I haven't done it yet, but I'm going to. It's like this. I don't know if this will show up or not, but it's an X-wing where the
Oh, I see that. Yeah. Okay.
where it crosses here at the spar, but
Uh-huh.
it crosses here at the trailing edge. So you got 2 points crossing, 2 points crossing, and do that all the way. Now, the free flight guys do that, and they even go a little more elaborate than that. They build a honeycomb wing, but I wanted to build a straight X-wing setup.
I seen
90 degrees at 90 degrees.
60.
60, 60.
60, yeah, they're all 60 this way.
The God, yeah.
I watched on YouTube, and a guy did one of them, and he did it like Doran said, with the standoffs on it, and it was an X-wing that he laser cut. So the ribs, every other rib went together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
You
laser
can
cut the thing.
Uh-huh.
Then he also had a like an I-beam. You know, it was just a piece of
spar?
wood that was done the opposite way, and the ribs went in one way and stuff. It all set on the table.
Mhm.
Then when it was done, he put his spar across that
Mhm.
and had it all set in there,
Mhm.
and then glued it all in place. And then he had the buck that went over the end of it then and locked it all. It was really cool.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
was an RC airplane with an X-wing design.
Yeah.
A
Well,
guy
those
with
ribs
a
are very easy to make if they're if you put the ribs at 90 degrees, at 45 degrees instead of 60. As soon as you go 60, because you don't have a 90 degrees reference, when you put them, when they slide inside each other, I mean, you have to fudge them a little bit wider gaps and stuff like that. They may not have a nice solid glue joint and stuff like this. So it's the 60 degrees. I don't know about that. But 90.
engineering standpoint, bridges are built with 60 degrees. And they're done, geodetic bridges are done for a reason like that, because it's the strongest angle.
Yeah, but it's not practical for us.
Now, it may not be practical, but anything worth doing is worth doing right, you know.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you have a point, but in order to do that, you probably have to go back to the foam and you definitely have to go back to the foam and put them all in there and just send them all in a block.
I know nothing about CAD. I tried to do AutoCAD, so it's a very difficult program, and I tried to use Blender, and I've tried to use a bunch of these CAD draw programs, and I can't figure out how to do it. I don't have enough time left in my life to teach me all these programs. So I tried to do it manually, but with a drafting, a T-square and all that, plotting all the ribs, and it was a disaster. I did that in 91, and the wing came out kind of twisted, so I gave up on it.
Mm-hmm.
But I always wanted to try one with cutting a foam jig and doing that.
Well, that was with the that RC guy when he did it. He had the slots burn in there just perfect, so that when it went in at 6, there was no gaps, no nothing. I mean,
Yeah,
almost
if you do like that, it should be
covering on it when it was all slid together, it would have had strength to it. With no glue.
You guys see this?
Yeah,
This is a wing I was thinking about building.
and Dorn could probably set it up, and if you could send that DFX file that Dorn makes over to a laser cutter, he could cut them.
Yeah.
Cut the ribs, and it will all go together like a big puzzle, and then you just drop the glue on it, and you're done.
Yeah, I think even the general geodesic that we make right now should be more than enough for from the twisting point of view. But I think you have to introduce a little bit of carbon fiber in it, especially on top between the cap strips and the ribs, because that's going to take all the torsional stress, and you can stay with the 4 or 5 ribs or whatever. How many are there? Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
10.
9, about 10 ribs plus the half ribs in between them, right? So you can get away with that and still have a super stiff wing. But I would probably just put some of that 100 grams of the, what is the lighter one? Let me see. I think
this new wing that I'm doing on the Tucker, this new way of doing this wing is going to be stiff, real stiff. And I won't have to worry about those half ribs and the crappy look that it has on the leading edge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The dry carbon fiber reinforcement, woven unidirectional. Okay. So yeah, you have carbon fiber. You can have a spread toe ribbon which is 80 grams, or you can have the 100 grams. And the 100 grams is $15.60 euros. So it's about $17 a square meter. You can make, if you cut out this square meter, which is about over 3 feet, and you cut little strips about 1/8 inch, it's going to last you for 100 planes from now on.
Now, I've showed this on some videos, but nobody believes me. This is parachute rigger thread. It's made of Kevlar.
Yeah.
And I take this thread and I sew it in an X, just right down a spar line, up, down, up, down, up, down, one tip to the other, and then a drop of CA where they cross, and a drop of CA on each point they go through the rib. That's just as strong. Matter of fact, it's stronger than balsa wood, and I think strength-wise, this is probably stronger than carbon.
No way.
I can pull carbon apart. Hello, yeah. I can pull carbon apart. You can't pull this apart. You'll cut your hand off.
Okay. Pound for pound, carbon is stronger than the Kevlar. If you do a fair comparison, fiberglass it's say 100 grams per square meter fiberglass compared to 100 grams per square meter Kevlar, compared to 100 grams per square meter carbon fiber. Fiberglass is strong. Kevlar, it's in a league of its own, higher, and the carbon, it just dwarfs both of them.
I wonder why there's not carbon fiber-proof vests then. They use Kevlar in the vest instead of carbon fiber.
That's a simple explanation for that, because the Kevlar doesn't like to fray, and but strength-wise, how much strength do you get out of the Kevlar or the carbon fiber?
Carbon fiber toe and tear it apart. You can't tear that apart. if you had a carbon fiber thread, you could tear it. You can't tear that, you'll cut your hand off. It's like wire.
All right, Kevlar versus carbon fiber strength. Okay, let's put this to bed.
But yeah, you could take that thread and just lay it on top of the spar, even glue it in there.
Right. I do that sometimes. Versus Kevlar, Kevlar.
Unless you plan to shoot the plane with a bullet and you want the Kevlar to last over there, maybe it's a better safe to use the Kevlar. But if you want to use it for strength, sheer strength, the carbon fiber is much stronger than that, much stiffer than the Kevlar. It doesn't stretch, doesn't do anything.
Google says about it. It says fiberglass, Kevlar, and carbon fiber all have got approximately the same strength and are stronger than aluminum and steel. Carbon fiber is stiffer than aluminum and steel, fiberglass, and Kevlar. This makes carbon fiber ideal for making strong, lightweight, stiff structures. So let's say about Kevlar.
There you have it then.
No, we don't have it by one statement. It says carbon Kevlar has lower strength but is more resistant to damage than carbon fiber. Carbon fiber is long, thin, micro-thin string, and
that is true. That's why they make the Kevlar vest, because it's the if you hit the Kevlar, the Kevlar. Let me tell you a little story. When I made the Kevlar noses on the discus launch gliders, then would crash. The nose would crumple, right? But it would not have a fracture or something like that. It was softer, but it was softer, right? Sometimes when they were launching, they would move out and move and give, right? But then after that, they decided to go and use the carbon fiber, because the Kevlar is just a pain in the ass to work with it anyways. And Kevlar doesn't like to cut very well. It kills your scissors like in no time, right? So that's what happens with this Kevlar, right? That's why I make the hinges on my plane out of Kevlar, right? Because initially it has some glue inside of it, but as you after you finish and get the part out of the mold, what we do, you take a hacksaw blade and we ride it right on a gap in there until we expose the Kevlar. And as you move it up and down, what happens, the glue inside the Kevlar starts to break down, and it shatters like glass, right? And eventually it leaves the Kevlar, and the Kevlar becomes just the fibers themselves, which are very flexible and very nice, and they last forever. They don't break.
Here's the downside to Kevlar, according to DuPont, and that's the maker of the Kevlar. Poor compressive strength, resistant to squashing and squeezing, more sensitive to the environment factors and other materials. Who cares? Requires specially made scissors.
Yep.
To sever the fabric. Once laminated, can only be pierced with specially made drill bits. Which is the better one for me? Carbon best suited for areas that require higher stiffness, which I'm not doing it for stiffness, I'm doing it for pull, where strength offers the best strength and rigidity. So wait, carbon fiber also is more straightforward to cut, sand, machine, compress, in comparison to Kevlar, which requires especially made drills once laminated. That said, Kevlar offers better abrasive strength than carbon fiber, which is commonly associated with bulletproof vests.
Yeah.
There is also
But
better.
the bulletproof vests, they do not use any glue in them. They just sew them together.
Right. Kevlar is extreme temperatures than carbon fiber. The more, well, that's so far away. Advanced composite. See, but I'm not using it as a laminate. I'm using it as it's a structural, when I'm Xing them back over that way, I'm using it as tension. It's always under tension.
What is the tension used for? Just for flexing of the wing like that?
To keep the wing from going up and down.
Yeah, but think about it. Like when the wing wants to do this, one side of the wing is in compression, the other one is in tension. when the wing wants to do this in the other maneuvers, yeah, they sweep flip flop.
You're
And
not
you-
understanding.
No, I got the point. Like you basically use them like as shear webs, right?
Right.
Kind of like that, yeah. But if you it has the most strength in a straight line. So if you put it in a straight line on top, one on straight line on the bottom, and it still keep your shear webs of the balsa wood vertical grain, it's more than enough for what you need there. And I think if you want strength, you have to put it in a straight line, and it doesn't work. As soon as you do wavy stuff in it, kind of goes on for the right. But oh well. I mean, if you make your structures just two pieces of stick and you put this Kevlar around like in a zigzagging pattern and try to do this with the sticks and stuff like that, you didn't get much of anything.
The only thing that makes the carbon fiber strong is the glue, and the glue is weight. I'm trying to get
No,
rid
it's
of it.
not. The glue is there to hold the fibers from moving around.
Well, if you didn't have glue in it, it'd be a floppy piece of material, right? The glue is what makes it strong. The glue holds its shape.
It's a composite material. Have two different materials with different properties, which put together gives you a new material. So yes, you're right. Initially, the carbon fiber doesn't hold its shape, doesn't hold its, you have to constrain it in some sort of a shape, and then they put it with the glue. But the carbon fiber, the glue is there just to keep the shape, not the strength. The strength comes from the carbon fiber.
You know how we're taking that carbon veil and putting it on the outside of airplanes with dope? That offers no strength whatsoever.
Because it's veil. It doesn't have a fiber. It doesn't have any kind of grain to it. It's just random grain.
Right. It has
Those short grains that don't do nothing but go on for the ride. The only thing the veil does to a plane is ding resistance. So you don't put your fingernails through it. That's all. It doesn't give you strength. Doesn't make you a stiffer wing because it doesn't have grain to it. Put those strands in a straight line and in align them in one direction, and just watch how much strength you're going to gain from that.
I'm going to show you. This is from the 80s, and it's like the X. I don't know if you can see how that is.
Yeah.
So it's all, they called it honeycomb.
Right.
And it's all done through there, and it's just 1/16 balsa wood glued on top of that foam, and it made one hell of a strong wing, lighter now. And then it has the real small spar on it. Then on top of that was somebody made it a piece of carbon fiber that was put on there. But I think the cores cost me $180 for somebody to sit there and cut every little damn.
Mm-hmm.
Then it had the landing gear part was all cut out, all hot wired out. Mm-hmm. And the guy from Canada that did it, I forget how many hours it said it took him to make the core. Then you could get the core.
Worth his time to do that.
Huh?
It's not even worth his time to do that. Like $180 for that.
But it lightened the wing up and for strength, and you did the same thing. You wiped down the glue and took it back off, and then put it under all kinds of pressure. I forget. You needed 150 pounds or something, whatever they had on that. You'd stack it up.
Yeah.
And the wing would come out over other RC airplane wings that were done with foam. Hell, the damn things would come out about half the weight of these other ones.
Yeah, because all the other ones probably use solid cores. It's just full of foam.
Yeah.
But if you look at this wing, the only thing that the ribs in the foam do, they space the sheeting to hold the shape of the wing. That's the only thing they do over there. Actually, the whole strength of the wing comes from the sheeting itself.
Oh yeah.
The sheeting is the spar.
Well,
that's why it doesn't really need a big spar, because if you have that big piece of sheeting, plus a little bit of spar inside of it, like you said, a little bit of carbon fiber on a maximum width, or somewhere over there. Man, that thing is stiff, and probably the foam is not removed over there. Oh,
When you look at an I-beam wing, you think, well, that thing's flimsy as hell when it doesn't have the covering on it. But you put the covering on it, that's what locks it up. And it's just issues.
Yeah, that was the one thing about this wing is that when you got the damn cores from them, you take it out of the son of a bitch was like a noodle. And we're like, holy shit, this ain't gonna work where the hell. But yeah, once you
yeah. Well, hey guys, I'm going to sign off because I need to go home.
You're at work?
Yep.
That's where you're getting all that high-tech stuff done at work, huh?
Yeah, that's
On the
correct.
Boston side.
You want to see?
You showed the wing.
You want to see my workplace?
Yeah, let's see it.
Yeah.
All right, let me grab this thing. All right. So basically, this is my office here. I have the computer. This is where I do all my CAD work. Basically like that. Let's see. And this is the shop. So what you see over here, you see the 3 machines.
CNC machines, 3 rotary access machines, yeah.
Yep. This is the mini mill. This is the tool room mill. This is where I do all my big molds on because it has most travel on it. And this is the lathe. I do a lot of parts in here too, on the lathe. So that's that.
yeah, that's pretty cool.
Now you can see breech ports. We have a nice bandsaw over there, a manual lathe here. And let's see what else. Everything you want to have in a machine shop. A press, hydraulic press, a bandsaw here.
Brakes here, I got it over there, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice and clean.
You have the shears. We have this kind of bending machine. You can bend anything on it. Then we have this shear here that has like a 90-degree cutter.
Cuts, notches, we got one of them.
Yep. So we do our tapping here with this machine that holds everything nice and vertical.
You guys have a broaching tool?
No, we don't. We don't use it. So tools and then some.
You guys don't broach at that plate? It's a pretty nice machine shop. You can't cut a keyway?
No, we don't do this. We have such a low volume that it's not worth it. So disc sanders. This is a precision grinder here. That's where I grind some of my stuff on my molds to get them perfect. So this is it, you know.
Yeah.
Everything you want. These are tools that go in a CNC machines. And all kind of tools in there. And we have, as you can see, it's drawers full of tools, different kinds, different shapes, different diameters, whatever you need to get the job done.
I don't know when the toolbox was bought, but when Guardsman shut down, we were making all the red paint for Waterloo toolboxes.
Okay. So yeah, this is it. This is where the magic goes on.
I think Waterloo builds Snap-on toolboxes.
Well, do they really?
I think so. I don't think Snap-on builds them. I only think there's two or three companies in the country that build toolboxes.
Yeah, we made the red for Waterloo, and then we made a brown for these one gun safes, and I can't think of the name of them. They weren't real expensive ones, but they were decent.
Well, Sparky, here's something that you might want to try it out. I bought this stuff from McMaster Car.
I got some.
This is, you know what this is?
That's 15,000 carbon.
No.
What is that?
All right. This is a hardened steel It's 3,000 thickness by 1 inch wide, and you can buy it like in long rolls. Comes like this.
What would I use that for?
And what I'm going to use this for is to draw, use it to draw panel lines. And I did a little test on it. What I did, can you see this?
Yeah.
Has a foam backing to it, right?
Uh-huh.
So this is just nice and flexible, but it's a straight edge. It's not going to bend in this direction at all. And you can lay it down on the surface.
Right. Go around the fuselage.
Around, I mean, it's pretty flexible. Look at that.
Right.
That's my finger, right?
Yeah.
So it can roll up around a very thin.
What do you have glued to the back of that?
This is it's a foam. It's a strip of foam that I bought it also from McMaster car. It's 1/32 of an inch, or maybe 1/16 of an inch thick, and it's a sticky back.
Uh-huh.
So it comes in a roll like this. And so what I did, I bought 10 feet of that, 10 feet of this. So this is the roll. So this is the foam, sticky back. Just peel it off and just put it on.
Send me the part numbers to that stuff. You know, on our McMaster. That's a good idea. I've been using plastic and tape, and when you bend it around, the sticky back shit comes off.
Exactly, and this one is not coming off at all. It's very flexible, and another thing is, like, if you put it on a surface that's relatively flat, look at this. So you can have this much curvature on a surface, and you can just drop it down there, and it's going to stay there. And when you want to remove it, watch this. Say you want to draw your line. Let's draw an example. Let's draw a line here. We're making a panel line here. So I put my panel line on. Now what you can do, you can just go like this. Just push it on the back. You see that?
Yeah.
Oh, so you don't mar you don't.
Exactly, and the line is there. Or if you want to draw a line over something that has a leading edge like this, you want to go around it. Just hold like that, and probably the top of the fuselage, whatever.
Yeah, that's a good idea. How much is that stuff?
Let me see. You have a pen and paper?
Yeah, I just put it in the browser. Go ahead. Part number.
Give me a second.
Okay.
Okay. One part number. This is for. I just bought 10 feet because that's all I need. You can make like 10 feet worth of stuff, right?
Right.
Come in 10 feet or 100 feet. So this is 9075 kilo 52. No, kilo 2. Again, it's 907.
K2.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Let me go back and find the other. This one. Okay. And it's a sticky back neoprene foam sheet, which is 1/32 of an inch thick. And the part number, it's 93375 kilo 606.
93375 K606.
You got it. Yeah.
And how much was it?
It's $23 plus another $30 or something like that. So it's a sizable investment. But
$30 for the spring steel?
yeah. This is hardened, heat treated, and it's like a shim stock. It has very nice edges to it. It doesn't have any fray, and it's perfect. The edges on these things are perfect, and it's heat treated. So it's gonna hold its shape. It's not gonna bend like a piece of aluminum or something like that.
Yeah. When I was going to school, we made different cutter blades for Frito-Lay.
Mhm.
But we use 3-inch, the same stuff, and we ground an edge on it.
Mhm.
And then the top side had just a little rounded area with 2 holes punched in it.
Mhm.
And they used them for scraper blades to scrape any dough or whatever
Mhm.
when they made whatever they made, because this wheel, I guess, would flatten stuff out at a certain thickness,
Mhm.
and then that blade would run on that roller
Mhm.
and scrape it. And we made thousands of them damn things.
Okay. Yeah.
They went all over the United States for something for Frito-Lay with that.
Yeah. And Sparky, you're probably gonna like this foam. That's the sticky back foam. The side of the foam that doesn't have the sticky back side. It's very rubbery and has a good grip on the surface, whichever surface you put it on. And I even tried it on glass.
Hey, you want better look at that part number again, because you gave me the part number to 50 foot, and the part number for the 10 foot is 9075K 427. 427.
Okay.
9075K 427 for 10 foot, $30.32.
What's the number again? No, the number I have here is 93375K606. Is that what you got?
No, the spring steel. The number you gave me.
Oh, the spring steel.
Yeah, the number you gave me is to the 50 foot roll, but the 10 foot is 9075K 427.
Let me see here. 9075K2.
427 is 10 foot. The 2 is the 50 foot roll.
You know what? That'd be nice used for a straight edge, even.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like if you
I
want
mean-
to draw
I mean,
something or
Yeah, if you're doing the skins or whatever for your airplane,
Right.
put that on there, and you could cut right along it, and you can roll it up. You don't have, I got this big straight edge now, but it's a monster, and trying to store it or use it, it's
Okay.
look at the grip it has. I'm just gonna lay it on top of this, okay?
yeah.
And watch this. Still on, still on, still on, still on.
How wide was
Finally
it?
slides down. It's a 1-inch wide.
No, the foam. How
The
wide was
foam is 3/4 wide, so you can have like 1/8 of an inch on each side.
it? So I got half, 3/4. Okay, 3/4 wide.
Yeah.
And it's 2,000. No, you got 20,000 thick acrylic.
No, it's 3,000 stick.
See, neoprene.
Oh no, it's the foam is 32, yeah.
3/4 wide. Yeah, 32nd thick. And,
1/32, yeah.
okay, one.
So it's not going to hold your scale too high above the part that you're trying to draw, right?
Right.
But it's not going to hold it close either, right? So I think this is just right. I mean, it's like you don't get a chance to get your pen underneath it or lift it up or something like that. No way. But it has very nice, very nice grip. I mean, if you have a nice shining surface and you put even the lightest bit of pressure on this thing, it has such a good grip. You know,
That is really cool.
I don't know how to show you that. See,
Oh, I see it.
see, it's just a piece of sandpaper. This doesn't have a lot of pressure, right? So I'm just putting just the lightest bit of pressure. I'm not even pushing it against it, and I'm holding it vertical. See that? And even if I let it go, it's going to fall out. Because
That-
it's very
that-
good.
Spring steel is 2,000 thick.
3 by 1.
3,000. Says here it's 2,000 for that part number.
I don't know what you get there. It's the McMaster car.
Yeah, I'm on McMaster car. Wear resisted 1095 spring steel, 2,000 thick, 1 inch wide, 10 foot long.
Yep. Spring steel, 3,000 stick, 10 foot long. Yeah, by 1 inch.
This is okay. This is 2,000. 14. Try the 2. Yeah, whatever.
All right, this is the 3000 by 1 inch. I mean, you want to see what I have here? I'm gonna shoot you the link if you want to see it.
I'm just looking at what McMaster Carr said. They don't have a 3000.
They do have a 3000. I don't think. What the hell is wrong with these guys?
Well, I'm just looking at what they got here. Control C. I'll send you the link. Just me. We want to send it over there. Control V. That's the page I'm on right there.
So are you doing?
The page has 2000s, has 3000s, 4, 5, and so on and so forth.
I don't see 3000. All I see is a 2. 1 inch wide. Then the next one is
It's 3000s, 1 inch wide, and 10 foot long, and have 3000s, 1 inch wide, and 50 foot long.
now I'm getting up here on the part number. But it doesn't matter. 2000s, 3000, it's all fine.
I think 3 is best, because it's thick enough to have good structural integrity, and it's also thin enough to not want to bend a whole lot, right? I mean,
Were you working on your mold tonight, Ryan?
No,
No.
I might do it over the weekend.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
7.5. Let me get it. That's 3 inches wide. I don't want that. Hardened polished blue. Oh, I see. 3000s down here. 82, 31, 10 polished. It's different rows.
Yeah.
Okay. Wear resistance 1095 spring steel 3000 1 inch thick 10 foot wide 1. Add 1 to that. And the order. Okay, yeah, I like that. Thanks for turning me on to that. That's good because you always have a problem when you're doing inclines.
See, this is the wing mold.
Yeah.
See that?
Yeah.
And what I do, I put a color path on it, and when I want to do a verification on the color path, I just do this, and it makes my color path. And when you play it, it shows you how it comes to be. This is the virtual reality part of it.
Oh, okay. You had to draw a whole new deal by making that 3/4 of an inch.
Yeah.
Technically, yes. Yeah. I couldn't just scale it, so.
Oh, I thought maybe you could just, cut off, go back into the thing and.
When you finish that mold inside, do you have to hand finish it?
Yes. Yeah, I mean, just you get it as smooth as possible with the color path. See that? So that's in virtual reality, it's pretty smooth, right?
Yeah.
But in reality, you have to do some sanding to it.
Yeah. Sanding and polishing.
Yeah. So you do the work one time, basically, and after that, everything that you make out of the mold is going to come pre-sanded, pre-polished, whatever you want.
No, because I remember polishing.
That's how they look out of the machine.
Yep.
So it's pretty nice to begin with, but you still have a lot of color marks. Yeah. But they're faint. They're very small.
I ordered a steel. I ordered a steel gallon jug.
What, from McMaster Carr?
Yeah. I had it in my cart from before.
What do they get? About $10 for them damn things now?
$12.44.
Holy shit. Yeah, I miss the days working at Guardsman when I just go down in the basement and grab a few gallon cans like that, because we had thousands of them that went to the different parts of the plant where they filled different lacquers, and I get the big with the big hole in it instead of the little hole. We,
54.74 before shipping.
Yeah. But you have 10 feet of it, right? You basically need only 2 feet and change for the wings, maybe some small stuff for the elevator, and maybe some special rulers, like little beanie ones for whatever.
Well, what's really going to make that nice is if you got to cut around a wingtip or whatever to trim that off, you can put it around there, take it down, and take an X-Acto and go around it.
Yep.
You can't do that with plastic that I've been using.
Nope. No.
Oh,
It's,
yeah,
it's going to be a very versatile tool. Even like what you said, after you put the leading edge on and you want to trim off the excess from the over there, this is perfect for that.
Yeah.
It has good grip. I tell you, it has good grip.
Well, what I'm real impressed with is that it stays stuck on it after you bend it.
Yeah.
Because the stuff that I make, even the plywood ones or whatever, because I make a lot of that stuff out of plywood or whatever for drawing. And you bend it like that in the back, the tape pulls off the back.
Yeah. As long as 1 inch wide that you need, right? So, but if it's more than 1 inch wide, you might have to do something else. Maybe buy another piece of this stuff.
No, that's good. Thanks for turning me on to it.
Yeah. I really love this stuff. I can't wait to start to draw some panel lines with it.
Pricey, but worth it.
Yeah. Hey, you can say put it on your Stunt Hangar store.
No. No, that's I don't make anything off that store. That's all Tom Morris. That's not me.
Oh, okay.
You get ordering through Tom Morris. The only thing I supply is the server, the website.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I see. Yeah, very nice of you to do that.
You buy from me. It goes through my account, but at the end of the month I ship all the money over to Tom.
Mm-hmm. I see. Yeah.
Well, that's cool.
Very nice of you. Like I said, it's very nice of you.
Stunt Hangar is just a service to all the stunt community.
Yeah.
I don't shit on it. It's a loser.
Well, yeah, that's why when somebody said, "Oh, you're trying to sell your stuff over there, make money off of it," that's like, yeah, sure. I couldn't even pee my pants from go to the toilet and pee my pants over there with the money I make off of this stuff.
Yeah, that's what I said for Sparky. He does such a service for the control line deal.
It's very nice, yeah.
And there's not a lot of other people that do it. I mean, really, nothing there. So
the server costs $300 a month, and whether I get the donations or not, I got to pay that $300 a month to keep it up and going.
Wow.
It didn't used to be that way. It started out, it was $6.95 a month.
Holy shit.
That's been 12 years ago, though.
Now, can you own your own server? Or?
I do. I mean, I could house the server in my house if I had a T1. You got to have enough. But the pipe has to be big enough for all the bandwidth to go through, and that's what eats up the cost on the server is how much traffic that site gets. We get a lot of traffic, lots of hits per day.
Now, is the cloud deal, is that a better way or cheaper?
I don't know much about the cloud. You got to have a server to be on the cloud.
Well,
you got to have a server somewhere.
Hey guys,
what it is that go. All right, we used to do all these server rooms, the air conditioning and heating. Yep, take it easy.
All right. Good night, Doran.
Good night.
Thanks.
And
Right. And so we did all these server rooms and took care of them. And I got called in, I don't know, 3 months ago to the server room that I hadn't been at in a while. The big unit, they took right out and sold it. And there was like 4 or 5 little servers in there out of this huge room. And they said they went out of the cloud. And I don't understand how they got rid of all their servers. But they said all these people are doing that, getting rid of these big ass server rooms and doing shit with the cloud. But I don't understand how that cloud works.
Well, I don't either. You got to have a shoebox to put the stuff in. That's all I know.
Yeah, I think the cloud must just be a bank of servers or something, someplace in the world or whatever. I mean, it's not really just floating around out there in electronic blips or whatever. But I know that my next door neighbor, he worked on servers and done different stuff for doctors' offices and stuff. And he just got back from out west interviewing with Google, because all he does now, he stays home and does cloud stuff. And I don't understand what he does, but he said they tripled his money and now he just stays home all the time and never has to leave the house and works right out of his spare bedroom and does stuff on the cloud.
Oh, that's a good deal.
Yeah. That's what he said. It saved him so much money on vehicles and all that kind of stuff, because he was hitting all these different places working on their servers and doing whatever he did. And now he does it all out of the house.
Well, that's what they want us to do. They want us to all live in one building, in one city, and
Yeah.
not go anywhere, not eat any meat, not drink out of straws, and not drive cars, but they can do it. They can get in their gas guzzling SUV and fly on a private jet. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Well,
Kind of like anything else, they want to pay you $15 an hour, but they want to make $1 million a year, so
that's it.
there's only so much of this stuff to go around, and they want the biggest majority of it. That's kind of like carbon. We can only use so much carbon. We're going to use the carbon. You're not going to use it.
I'm not sold on carbon fiber. It's too heavy for the strength that it offers. There's nothing stronger than balsa wood pound for pound.
Yeah, we're looking at the hobby shop today, and they had wood there. They showed it under a microscope and all that kind of stuff. And the wood you call that has cancer,
Yeah,
it's bigger holes.
right.
And I said, well, that's why, the stuff with the cancer in it is always so light. The holes are bigger.
And
Oh.
the ligna is the glue that holds the fibers together. That's what you're doing when I steam something. You're loosening the ligna up that hold the fibers together.
Yep. And then when it cools back down and the water gets out of it, it goes right back.
The only nice thing about what like Doran does is carbon airplanes is they don't move in the heat.
Yeah, moisture and all that kind of stuff.
It's not a living thing, so it doesn't move.
That's why I'm wondering how on these, big ass blades for the turbines, why they make it out of wood. It seems like, can you imagine a really hot, humid day? How much that blade would twist or grow?
Wait. They couldn't make it out of carbon fiber. It'd be too heavy.
Yeah, I know, but couldn't they fill it with foam? Some kind of expanding foam in there that wouldn't react to humidity?
Even 2-pound density foam you probably could foam and then fiberglass it, whatever.
Yeah, because we were talking about that, and I'm like, man, why would they have a big ass blade like that filled with balsa wood? Seems like it would work.
Do you have any toe there?
Yeah.
Have you ever torn it apart?
No.
Yeah, I have tow over John's, a big spool of tow, like a sewing spool. You take a 2 foot piece off. It's tough to do, but you can pull it apart. The fibers will let go. You try that with that Kevlar thread, it'll cut your finger off.
Yeah.
It's like pulling your flying line apart.
Well, I thought about that with just spider wire.
Right.
You just took some spider wire and glued it to the top of your spar. What more would you need for how much? I mean, the wings hardly bend anyway with balsa wood. How much more strength do you need?
Well, see, Doran is correct. If he wants to use on the top of the spar, you want to use the carbon and glue, and that's what makes it stiff. But that I'm not using any glue. I'm just using the thread itself. And the way that I exit between the ribs, it engineers a stiff spar because it's always under tension. It's not on compression. So I'm just using you think he's a machinist, engineer type guy. You think he'd understand?
Yeah, to me, it's how much do you actually need? What is overkill, and how easy it is to use?
When in doubt, leave it out.
Yeah, but I mean, like with that Kevlar thread, it's easy to use that way.
Easy to use, doesn't weigh anything.
Yeah.
Like, I tell everybody who's building, if you watch a Windy tape, he'll have 10 formers in the fuselage, one every inch. And yeah, it's stiff as a bat, but but the airplane weighs 90 ounces, and you only need 2.
Yeah.
You got 8 times what you need. When in doubt, leave it out. Oh, you don't need that, throw it away. And Hunt got me on the kick of going 1/16 smaller on all the pieces. And if you think about it, my cap strips are only 3/16 wide instead of 1/4 inch. Well, that's a 16th per cap strip. So if you count all those cap strips up, I left the whole wing of cap strips off.
Yeah.
One panel, a wing, 16th there, 16th there, 16th there, and you count that all up, add it up, and you left half the wing off. So we're leaving off the pieces instead of 1/4 inch spars, we're using 3/16 spars.
Oh, okay.
But it doesn't work, and I will argue with Bob about this. He says if you can have 5-pound balsa wood that's 16th inch, you can use 8-pound wood 32nd inch. It don't work like that. He says it does. It doesn't. He says it'll weigh the same, and it won't.
Well.
And it won't be as strong either. I went the other way. I'm using lighter, thicker wood. I use 3/32 wood on leading edges.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so we might as well get off of here. It doesn't look like no one else is getting on, and I'm gonna go down and work on that wing a little bit.
Yeah.
Measure up, so because I wanted to talk to you about making that. So now that I know I don't have to be perfect and it's trimmed afterwards, makes a lot more sense to me.
Right. After you get it on, you can trim it off, and if you get a piece of that metal like he's got, that make it real easy. But I usually just use a metal. I have a meter stick that's made of metal.
Yeah.
1 meter, and a meter is a little bit longer than a yard. So any wing, you're going to have a long enough ruler, and you just put 2 pins in each end, and then push the ruler up against those pins, and then take an X-Acto and trim it off. And don't leave it hanging over the edge, because you will break it, and break that off, and that piece will fall down inside the wing or whatever.
Rattle around.
Yeah, or you stand a chance of when you grab the wing, rolling it over, or the dope covering will pull that piece over.
Oh, okay.
Make everything perfect the first time. Nice tight joints.
Yep.
And pretty important part about that wing that you're building is make sure all the ribs touch all the way. If you cut it to the foam jig, all the pieces should fit together perfect without any glue. perfect.
Yeah, that's what I've been looking, because I got the spar pinned in place. And as I get the ribs cut out and everything like that, I've been setting them in there and shining a light to see if it really is following that cradle. And so far, it is.
You blocked it up on the trailing edge, and you blocked up the spar.
Yeah,
You know about that. When
Yeah.
you put your trailing edge wood down, instead of 1 inch wide, cut it 3/4 inches wide, because that way you're leaving off one full piece of wood. So that's how I make my airplane so light. You leave the parts off.
oh, okay.
So instead of the trailing edge calls for 1 inch, only make it 3/4. And that leaves, you do that 4 times, that's one whole piece you left off the airplane.
Yeah,
And then put the cap strip on the back. But put your trailing edge on, lay your rib in there, make sure that your spar is jacked up as much as the sheeting is. So if you're using 16th, jack it up to 16th. If you're using 3/32, jack it up 3/32. That way it's all in there straight. And you can use the top cradle to hold it all together as the glue's drying. Use slow set white glue or whatever you want to do. I've been using the CA, but I've built hundreds of them wings already.
oh, okay.
It's pretty simple.
Yeah, I think the most time is cutting the damn ribs out.
That takes the most time. Building it takes no time. It's like Bob Hunt calls it wok building, just like wok cooking. You cut all the food up and you throw it in the pot, and the wok cooks it in about 2 minutes.
Yeah,
Same thing. It takes a whole lot of time to get everything ready to go together, like this wing I'm building here. Do you get the drift of what I'm doing there with that?
yeah.
I think that's going to be a good way to go, because I hate that look of. I'm looking at my Monado there. You can see the scalloping in the leading edge. I hate it.
Oh, hey, look, Rusty looks like he's in a bed.
Hospital.
Yeah, that's right.
Hey, man.
Hey, I look better than I do some nights in my damn living room.
So, did they find out where this infection is at?
No, they hadn't found out shit yet. It's probably in my hip, but they couldn't work on me because my proton INR was too high. Although I had checked and adjusted all that before I came, then if I hadn't come, I wouldn't have to be stuck here. But now that they got me, I ain't going nowhere.
Oh, shit.
Can't even get out of the bed. Cannot even put one fucking foot on the floor. I'm sorry, I shouldn't cuss.
That's
But-
all right.
Yeah,
So- How are they going to try to find out where this infection's at? Do they got a probe, or can they find it with x-rays or CAT scan, or how the hell they figure out where infection is?
I don't know, Steve. I think they're going to dig around or something. I really, really don't know.
Holy shit. So you could be there a couple more days then.
Yeah, definitely could be. I don't know. This is not good. But I'll do the best I can, I guess. But I don't have any other choice.
Were they giving you intravenous antibiotics?
Yes, they are.
Okay.
I couldn't tell you the variety of antibiotics they're giving me, but yeah, they're hitting me with that and looking after me pretty good, I guess.
Well, that's good. Yeah, they say them work the best when they go right into your blood system or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah,
Tell them Dr. Spark recommends super glue to put you back together.
excellent. Yes, Dr. Sparks super glue will do.
I told him Gorilla Glue, and he'd get a lot of hair on his chest and stuff.
I got enough hair on my chest. Well, I got a little. I don't have as much as I used to. It must have creeped up to my face. That must be where all that face hair came from.
Well, I'm glad you're all right. I mean,
Yeah, we were wondering. And
I was too, honestly. today. I wasn't sure if I was gonna be able to cut the mustard or not, but made it through a day. All I got to do is make it through a night, and we're gonna get this busted out here. I'm not gonna live like this. I'm, I gotta come back and fly planes and shit.
I
I'm
was
not.
gonna say, we know you're not into building, but you don't got to get so damn sick so you have an excuse not to build. Damn it!
Yeah, I like building. I'm
I know.
learning to
shitting
like
with
it a
you.
lot more than I did.
Yeah, I'm just shitting with you.
I
So
know. But I just figured I'd drop in and see if I could even say hi to you guys, because,
You're lucky you caught us because we were just getting ready to shut it down.
yeah, looks
yeah,
like
there
I'm
hasn't
going
been. I guess if you don't host it, nobody shows up. I don't know.
They don't like.
Yeah, well, y'all don't have very many. Yeah, you don't have very many visitors, do you? Well,
We got 11 watching.
Yeah,
yeah,
it was just me and Sparky for a long time, and Tryon got on for a bit, and then he's gone. So we were gonna.
it's kind of been that way for me lately too. So I don't know. We'll get them back. We need a refresh of some sort.
Well, one thing is that I was gonna be getting ready for just a little fun fly thing tomorrow, but once the cold weather hits, we'll have a lot more time to be inside and.
Absolutely.
Hey, I want to thank Jack Snavely for the super chat. I didn't see that.
Oh, I saw that earlier. Yeah, that was a nice one, Jack. Thank you. And I thank you for my contributions from the super chat too. That helps. That's big time.
It's all right. Just buy some wood with it.
Yep, will do.
We'll get feeling better and kick the shit out of this stuff and get it over with.
I'm glad. I need to have somebody telling me that. So yeah, thank you, Steve.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sparky. And I'll do the best I can. And I feel better already now after talking to you guys. That makes a difference.
Yeah, because
So
I plan on getting down there again next year, and
yeah,
get some more flying together. Got to see you fly one time, and then everything just went to hell.
Sure did. Yep.
Well, we're coming to Huntersville, so you better get well for that.
Yeah.
I'll be there one way or another. I'll either be pushing a walker or walking on my own two legs, one or the other.
No more walker shit, man. We're gonna get you out there.
Ain't nothing wrong with my legs now, I don't think. So we'll see. But anyway, I think I might be disturbing the hall. I'm not sure. So
No, who cares? I don't have nothing better to do anyway.
Shouting on my telephone. But, so,
all right. Well, I'm gonna get off. Hopefully, we'll see you hosting Monday.
that's not going to happen, but next week maybe midweek or Friday. But I'll let you know when I come back. I'll post a video when I get back, even if it's not on a show night. So you guys take care. I love you, dudes, man. We'll see you later.
All right. Get well.
Good night.
Bye.
All right, guys, we're going to shut it down. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and share, and we'll see you next time. Fair winds, tight lines. See ya.